if you're gonna hustle and make money, whatever you're gonna do as a man, because for us men, money it means everything to us.
Yeah.
But it means a lot that we give it to our wives or whoever we're giving it to, like to make it beautiful. I mean, like our home beautiful. Um, there was no start date, there was no end date. So she got tired
Yeah.
of waiting because she waited, I think, for close to, I think, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
So she got to like the limit of waiting of yeah, like, I mean, when is this bringing money gonna end? Because we have the kids, we have we're living in okay, yeah, we're living in an okay flat, okay car. I mean, it wasn't what I have now. I mean, like it comes with age also.
Yeah.
You can't expect to have what I have at 26 now. You can't. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, and it's really something that younger gentlemen should know, that you can't expect to maybe have what we have now.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like stability now. I mean, 25 is the time to make the mistakes, and then you get married at 29.
Really, early 20s.
Yeah.
Or 20, like mid.
Yeah.
Mid 20s. Yeah.
So just to round it up a bit, then 2018, something very significant happened. I'm on the ship. Then I felt funny. I felt fun to the point that I went to the nurse on the ship. I said, feeling funny. Then the nurse is like, "What funny?" You know, because I'm known to be like, a joke and all this stuff at work and all these things.
Yeah.
What funny? Like, okay, let's take your blood pressure and blah blah. And they did that, and I said, if you consider this to be funny, feeling funny, you have no idea how you feel. So they did it again. On the fifth time, they called the doctor on land. Like, listen, we have a patient here who will, who is on your records. What do we do? They say, well, this guy's never been here. We have him on our records, but he's never been here. So then they say that, okay, what do we do? Then they say, okay, we need to ask him questions. So the doctor got the phone and I was talking to the doctor, asking the age, blah 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 blah, what I do and exercise and all this stuff. And they say, okay, I think you'll be fine. I mean, you can get off the ship next time you get back to Finland, but you manage quite well,
Yeah.
Then the last question was kind of like, because I mean, you know that with every disease like Alzheimer's and weight, it's within the family. So they asked, the final question was like, has anyone in your family ever had a heart attack? That was the silver bullet, actually. And then I said, oh well, my mom, and then they checked. She actually had a heart attack in Finland when she was here on holiday.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then they said, oh well, what it means is that you have to leave the ship now. This is at the middle of the night, like I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning. There are no ports open, nothing. So they call the typical helicopter company that picks up people. We call it like medical helicopter.
Okay.
Then they said the conditions are so bad that we can't come in. This is like winter. I don't know how your winters are in London, but
probably not as bad as Finland. I mean, I've heard some stories, but not as bad as Finland.
I mean, winter is winter here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, it's like really bad.
It gets in the minus, right? Like proper minus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We touch like -40 sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are Yeah, you are
Next
way,
level.
way. I mean, us guys get to like -1. And some of us will be suffering. You guys -40. Yeah.
So, well, they've called the city company to come pick me up. They said no, we can't come because our pilots can't handle it. So the captain said, listen, I mean, because we're a family on the ship. I mean, it's a tight unit. It's like a boarding school, actually.
Okay.
Tight unit, yeah. Because you eat together, you walk together, you do everything together. So then the captain's like, listen, I mean, I've known this guy for over 18 years. We need to call in the military. So they called in the military.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've never been so grateful. I didn't deserve that treatment. That's why I love paying tax right now. I'm a big taxpayer. I love paying tax.
Yeah. Like to see your money working.
Yeah. So the military guys came, but these were commandos because these were like specially trained for this.
Yeah.
And they were really excited because coming on board a massive ship, terrible weather, rescuing someone. So those are the three elements they had to pick me up. They picked me up. Yeah, very shaky takeoff. They took me to the second biggest city. On the way there, I'm thinking, okay, because you got a lot of thoughts in your mind, like what's going to happen next, you know. Yeah. Then the helicopter started shaking along the way. Thinking that okay, now it's really bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I asked one of these guys with the paramedics, like the military guys, like, listen, I need my phone. I need to text. I need to text my baby mama. And thank them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, because I mean, I feel that my children are the only thing that I have that as evidence of me being on Earth. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
So first I refused, like, listen, dude, you know, we know that things are shaky right now. You know, we're about to land, but things are not looking so good. The weather was bad. Yeah, then finally the pilot said, listen, give the guy the phone.
Yeah.
So I get the phone, I text them. No fancy words, but just that thank you for being the mother of my children, to both. I wish I had met you when I was a bit older and more mature. Because I'm in a completely different mindset right now. Yeah. So yeah, well then I get to the hospital and they say, well, you're fine, you can go. But although I didn't tell my current girlfriend or my fiance how things are.
So was it a suspected heart attack?
I think that I had suppressed a lot of things for so many years.
Yeah.
Working too much, not enough sleep. And with men, I think generally that's the case, that we then neglect that element of sleep, eating healthy, and so
just taking care of ourselves.
It was a period of many years of not taking care of myself. So they said, listen, the good thing is you don't smoke, but you have to lose weight.
Yeah.
That was the only thing they said. You have to lose weight. So then COVID came. Then the weight came back. The weight came back.
Square one.
Yeah. So, but that's where I the days when my kids come, they come like every second weekend. So they
Okay.
come for 4 days at a time. So they come like 8 days a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I live with my fiance. She's well, I'm work in progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still learning how to handle my temper. Um, and of course adjusting. Since I have four children, that I need help.
Yeah.
It's not just help in. We've had situations where my daughters need like tampons, and I didn't know how to react properly. So she's been a very good help in that sense, that my children now know that, okay, listen, you can go to dad's fiance and talk to her, and yeah, so there's a balance, because my biggest worry was that since it's gone like close to 4 or 5 years without being with their mother, that they will think that it's normal for all the parents to be single.
Yeah.
So now they come to our home, and it's like total zen, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's about it.
Yeah. I mean that's really good, and I mean I let you talk because I know you've got so much experience, so much things to share, so much wisdom. I always sometimes I take the mickey out of you on social stuff, because you've got these nice quotes sometimes that you come with, and you can tell it's come from a place where somebody's had that experience. But you've covered a lot in that. And I think one of the things that I think you kind of highlighted on was, okay, you talked about, being maybe a little bit too young and not ready for certain things. It's like me, when I got married close to, how old was I? Well, I've been married for about 10 years. So I got married close to 30, actually when I was 30. So for me, if I'm being honest, and it's no secret to my wife, she knows I lived my life, to put it in a very diplomatic and sensitive way. Me and the boys used to go out. We used to do, what young boys do. But I just got the inkling at a certain age that, okay, I need to get going. But actually, it's funny because it was my cousin who was older than me. She was married, and I started dating my wife, who was my then girlfriend. She said to me, she's like, don't waste this girl's time. And like, to me, that was like, it wasn't a shock, but it was like not what I was expecting to hear. Because for me, I was like, well, no, I'm bringing her to you so you can vet. So you can and tell me, and tell me. But no, I think it's interesting because you mentioned, like, you went for counseling when you were at that stage, and you felt like the counseling instead brought up issues that happened at school. I think that's what you said.
Even my childhood, and then I was thinking that, oh my God, because I've always run around saying that I had the best childhood. Because my friends, my childhood friends, like now in the pandemic, I could vibe with. If you remember Paddy.
Yeah.
Muz. I could vibe with him for an hour easily.
Yeah.
Monda, easily. An hour, 2 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's these things that you start realizing that, oh my God, those relationships you made as a kid are the ones
that affect.
That kind of, and you have a place to go.
Yeah.
You need to go. You know what I mean? And it's only the pandemic that's taught me that there are people that you can easily pick up the phone and just vibe anything.
Yeah, easily.
And they have the ear to listen, actually. So.
And did you think like that was maybe? I mean, obviously, I know like you were working and you were like working on like sometimes away from home and stuff like that. So do you think like maybe it wasn't as much the traveling, or was it more of you feel like maybe if it wasn't maybe was it maybe the being too young, not quite ready, or was it maybe the cultural aspect, or was it just, or maybe was it even like maybe, I don't know if you had any role models or somebody that could have guided you or that could have spoke to you? Because I mean, when I look at it, like me, I kind of had role models, like, people that could, because I mean, for me, I was like, I guess at that time when I met my wife, I had kind of started going to church, and I don't want to say, I'm not saying that church was an influence, because I could see how other people were, living that life. But for me, it was more than that, because I feel like for me, growing up in Zim, like I had seen like certain things, so I knew kind of maybe what I didn't want for myself, or like even like example, like me, like I mentioned my dad earlier in the thing. Me and my dad didn't really have a relationship, but we've got one now. We've talked for the last maybe 15 years or so. We've picked that up. But like for me, it was kind of like not to say I'm blaming my dad, but it was like, okay, I kind of want to have what I didn't have. So like even now, my relationship with my daughter is totally different, because even where you and me, the culture that we come from, like men didn't really have that relationship with girls. So it's just interesting, like when you talk about like, with your girl and like, talking about tampons and stuff like that. And it's funny because I was talking to another friend of mine in Nigeria, and he was saying like he's got 3 daughters. But he was like, look, when one of my daughters, when she had her first, period, she didn't go to the mom, she came to me. I was like, wow. So that showed, the level of relation. So for me, it was just kind of like, I don't know, I've always been kind of like a guy that's like, because even my wife says it sometimes, it's just like how sometimes when we go to parties, you're not really sociable or stuff like that. And it's not that I'm not sociable, I can be sociable, but I'm just more of a thinker. I like to assess people. I'm not just gonna go and start vibing with you like I don't really know you. So whilst everybody else is doing the whole socialite, I'm like, no, me, I'm a bit of a thinker. Like I want to try and like suss somebody out. So for me, I've always been like, well, I want to assess situation. How can I change my circumstance, or how can I at least help my kids to not have gone through the same thing? You see what I'm saying? So I think that's maybe for me how it was like different.
Totally understand. And your wife is Zim, right? From Zimbabwe.
Yeah, she is. She grew up here. So I make fun of her sometimes. I call her in English. Like she tries to speak Sean. I was like, I know you're trying.
No, but for me, well, I think in the journey I forgot a few parts. When you ask how has been the journey, the journey actually started in 2018 to where I am now. It's been because it's after the helicopter. I had to kind of like rethink everything. I had an amazing loft for myself. But then when the kids came, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. When the kids came, I had an amazing loft. But when the kids came, my youngest daughter was like, Dad, where are we going to sleep? It was a good question to be asked by her because it was a one-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
And there you go, 4 kids coming in. Right? And these kids need to do homework. They need to have like privacy and
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I quickly said, okay, girls, you take my bed. but I didn't feel good about
Mm.
that. My girl's taking my bed, didn't feel good about that. The boys come to the lounge with me. I will sleep. Whoever gets the couch first gets the couch. It was fun in the beginning.
Yeah.
But my current girl, she would come and visit like for dinner, and then she'd go back to her apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a psychologist actually by profession.
Mm.
So it wasn't really good dating her because there was no lying. She could tell, you're lying.
She'd be reading all your body energy, your eyelids, the way your nose moves, the ear.
Yeah. So the number one rule we have in this house is that there's no lying.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, don't lie.
Yeah.
so it's,
how are you doing with that?
It's actually very refreshing.
Okay.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
We have our issues, of course, like anyone in the pandemic. Should we take the vaccine or not? And blah blah blah. And but it's also led me not to sleep in the other room because I refuse to take the vaccine. And you're like, well, you have a healthcare business, so yeah. So no vaccine, nothing for you.
Yeah.
So back to the so should come a lot. I'm still to understand why she loves me.